Everybody doing well today? Working on getting my solar panel system installed on my shed. So if you've ever wanted to see what this looks like start to finish in real time, today is your lucky day. If this is something you didn't want to see, even better, you can click away. So no worries. Where did I put that glove at? It's interesting. There it is. Okay, so again, let me say this a few times today, but it is what it is. So it's going to be this is a 200 watt, beautiful day out today. I figured, you know what, I might as well go live while I'm doing this. You know, if I'm going to be out here, I might as well go live. I'm sure there's some people who would be interested in what this looks like to have happen. Obviously, this isn't like what I do all the time. You know, I'm a business coach by trade, but with most things, you know, I do stuff on the weekends, and it's a weekend. Although I did work yesterday. I did have some client work yesterday. I had some new clients that I onboarded. It was pretty cool. So with there's little notes about what this, make sure you guys are hearing me okay. That's on, that's on. All right, green light's on. So notes about what this is. This is a 200 watt solar system, solar panel system, electric system. Obviously not a solar system, no planets and whatnot, that we are going to be installing. Right now, I'm just getting the brackets put on so I can go up on the old roof there, mark my holes, and then get this set. So this is a 200 panel, a 200 watt system. I've got a one, for now, I just have I have one each 100 amp hour lithium battery that I have, and a 2500 watt inverter. Then I've got a power converter, a charge controller that's going to be between the two to make sure that I don't overcharge or whatnot. So, and big piece on this is I just want to have power out of my shed without having to, you know, run it from the house and having to get a new spot on the breaker just to run the power here for the little bit that I need it. But also, you know, I'd like to be able to, for next year, you know, with my greenhouse, I want to be able to have my my heater running a little bit earlier and not really necessarily have to pay for that. So, you know, outside of, you know, what Mother Nature can provide with the sun, which we're dealing with right now, which, man, is it ever nice out today. I mean, yesterday was a day, windy and yuck, gross out, for a little bit. Then the sun came through, but it's a nice day out here. Hey, thank you for that. Appreciate that. So, how do you say that? Is it Blaka? Is that correct? Is that Blaka like that? But either way, yeah. What I wanted to do was get this up today. It's Mizo. Hey, well, thank you, Mizo. I appreciate that. That was great. Like I say, just kind of getting started today. So I've got this 200 watt system that I'm going to be putting up. It's two 100 watt solar panels that are going to go up on my shed behind me here. Which I've got to go run and get my ladder. I got a different ladder I have to use on this one. So BRB. Yeah, be right back. alarm works on my vehicle, so that's a plus. All right, where'd that ladder go? Oh, there it is. All right, so oh man, great day out today. So anyways, just had to run around to the garage to grab my ladder. I need a different one than I have in the shed to place these up there. So that is what it is. Appreciate y'all's patience while I get to work out here. Other thing is, all right, there. Yeah, sorry about that. Had to get the right ladder. Use the correct one to be able to get up there. So kind of walk you through the plan here. That. All right, so this is a 10 by 12 shed that's up here. So I'm going to split the panels, basically just have them going horizontal there between the two sides. So one over here and then one on that side over there. Drop the power down inside and then do what I got to do. So like right now I'm just getting this first set of brackets on because I'm going to go put it up there, mark out where the holes are going to be, do some pre-drilling, but I got to do some math first. So it's math time. There is this guy. Let me grab my pencil and my marker. But yeah, good day to be out here doing this. That's for sure. So yeah, like I said, I want to be able to run heat into my greenhouse. That guy right over there. Next year, so I can get started even sooner. So for those who haven't been with the channel for a minute, I got this set. It's kind of like a little Leatherman, but it's a got it on Amazon. It's actually a set of the main tool is it's pruning shears too, so it's always on my belt loop, which is nice. But it does come with all the goodies that you'd like to have with a Leatherman, which are got a knife. It's got a couple knives. There's one serrated knife, and then there's this one that is just your standard straight blade. So this is just my marking pencil that I use when I'm doing my lumber, but I'm going to use this on the brackets up on the roof there to mark. It's a nice orange. I should be able to see it just fine. Then it should stay on there just without any issue. That's the theory. Let me do a test spot. Oh yeah, made a mark just fine. So yeah, great day out here today. I am so excited for this weather. It's been a cold, yuck day here in Michigan, year in Michigan. We didn't really get a lot of snow. We just got cold and yuck. And I mean, I hate to say it, if it's gonna be winter, I'd much rather we just go ahead and have the snow than just be cold and miserable. That's that piece. So check this real quick. All right, so I've got to do a couple measurements here just to make sure where I'm at. All right, so let's actually go to the end of the brackets here. We'll call that 44. My width on those. This should be going to be 12 foot end to end, but I'm going to double check that measurement because I'm here and why not? It is 12. Okay. 44. I'm going to want this thing split off the center. 6. Actually, I'm gonna get my ladder up there so I can just do it this way. So yeah, that's one of the things I love about doing these videos like this where they're live. A lot of times you get to watch the how-to videos. Right? You see them on YouTube, and it's nothing against the way that folks do them. I think I've learned a lot, and that's why I like to do these videos. But you also get to watch in real time, you know, basically someone doing this stuff, and understand that it is, you know, these things takes time. This is probably going to be I would imagine, for the install and getting it set up, it's probably going to be north of 4 hours to get everything done. Be my guess. Okay, do a couple more. Yeah, there you go. It's going to be, like I say, around 4 hours to get all this done. So you get more of a realistic, I mean, not that any of us are really too concerned about realism per se, but I actually had to break out the sunglasses today. That's a new one. My center line. These guys are going to go to that spot right there. 6 foot. There. We really want this thing. That looks like my center line right there, which is right on that. Sweet. Okay, so if I just put it on either side of that, I should be pretty good. All right, that sounds like the plan. These things are about 18 inches. Someone want to place it. Plenty of room. And I'm not worried about having it centered. Well, if I can, I think it would look better. Missing that. It is 38, so 19 here. So let me mark that off just as a potential center line. I can mark both. $38, 19, right here. Okay, that's right. Now, get my first one up there and get some measurements in here. I want these guys locked down pretty tight. They're not moving around. Here. That's good. That's good. Probably gonna have to go get one more toolkit here. Matter of fact, let me go take. Actually, do I have? I think I may actually. Do it with this. This probably. Oops. This was 3/8. Okay, so this is metric for sure, so these won't work on there. Get my other kit. BRB. Excuse me. Brackets installed. I don't think they'll be going anywhere. Get this power run. Had the system out for a couple months, just been waiting for a weekend to be able to do it. So be nice. All right, back over here. Feeling these are probably 10s. 10 or 11, let's see. 10s, that's what I thought. There, I should just be able to tighten these up. Yeah. Now these all have all these bolts that they have that come with the kit have their own self-tapping. I just don't like to use self-tapping, especially something I'm holding up there and just having to make it work. I tend to like just do a couple one very small pilot holes first. That tends to solve a lot of the issues as far as getting it going. So I'm gonna go and get this up here, and this is for insurance, so if they see me fall, they'll know exactly how it happened, you know? All right. Get this up. This first one going. What happens is this is going to come through here. I have to punch a larger hole. Actually, I'll probably punch a hole through here, I guess, to run that through. I think that's what I'll do. We'll get to that. We'll get to that point. That part, we need to get to that part. We'll figure that out later. First things first, I got to get some stuff marked. So again, it's a 100 watt, or these are 100 watt panels for the 200 watt system that I'm going to be using. Got it off of Amazon. I already gave it a test drive, so that was one thing I definitely recommend. You always want to make sure that you give these a test first. Make sure they're good. All right, so we're going to do one thing else here. Before I get too far down here, because I know better. Bring your level with you. Important to have this along with it. Of course, always be safe, folks. Always want to be safe when you're doing these things. Not saying you need to be a seasoned professional by any stretch of the imagination, but you also don't want to do anything that's necessarily going to put yourself in potential harm, you know? So let's see. Where's that center line? Right about here. All right. That looks pretty darn good. Right there. Right there. Can't really move it around much. These guys are going to fit how they're going to fit, it looks like. Definitely looks like there's going to be a little bit of maneuvering on this. Get that down. So that's the first piece wanted to see. So I've got to make sure I get that taken care of. Make a little bit of adjustment to these, and I'll show you guys why here in a second. So I gotta be super careful when I'm drilling this out because reasons. All right, so I always do a test drive with these first. So the brackets that I have, these two brackets, are off by about this much with the basically those raised ridges that they have on the roof. So what I'm gonna have to do here, I'm gonna have to drill it out. Drill out some extra holes down here because these brackets are only go in and out, not side to side for adjustments. So they will have to get moved. So with that, need put these guys back on here. So I'm gonna have to move my brackets. So one of the things that they don't talk about when you get these kits is that, you know, this was designed more than likely, rightfully so, for, you know, shingled roofs. Well, I've got a roof that isn't like that, so we've got to make some adjustments here. Let me go ahead and loosen these up. I'm just going to move these over a small bit. Oh, got some folks out with their, oops, sorry about that. Got some folks out with their kids right now, grandkids. So let me, all right. Oh, here we go. All right, so this is obviously going to be a little bit loud, so I'm going to kill the mic for a second for y'all while I get this piece here. All right, so it might be a little loud. So with this, I'm putting something underneath here, so when this does punch through, it doesn't go and hit my my solar panel. Like that's, I'm just protecting it right now. So it's gonna be quiet here per second while I cut this out. Okay, I don't want, well, you guys don't like it, just turn on the volume. I guess is probably a better response for you. Make sure this, yeah, it's got plenty of give. So like I said, when I got it up on there, it was just off, and we're gonna correct that situation. Okay, just that one, because what I want to use is KSS stove. Yeah, this one. drill that. We're getting there. Like I said, I don't want to go too fast with this thing. Getting there. Almost through. Almost through. I'm gonna use the little one again here. So careful with this. Whew. Whew. That went quick. I think we're all good. Okay, there's one. Let's see how that. Perfect. All right. All right, so like I said, I was just keeping that quiet while I was running the drill there because I needed to move my brackets over. The factory installed hole location doesn't quite line up correctly with my fence or with my roof. So because I've got some things that are ribbed there a little bit, so we're just moving everybody over a little bit. So I'm gonna hop over here and do the same thing on this side. Right there, over here. Sorry, I didn't mean to have my back turned to y'all. Just I'm working here, but everybody knows. So again, these were designed for a roof that's got shingles, not a metal roof like I have. So that's the main difference there. There's going to lose that. Next one, we're just going to pop over here. This far? Yeah. Right in the middle. Keep my protection. So, like I said last time I was doing this, the idea here is simply just to do what I can to protect the panel so it doesn't take a direct impact here, because at. Help this along. A little loud, I apologize. All right. Let's do this last one here. Nope. Okay, so got that done. 1 of 2 done. So I'll need that for next time. Let's get this other bracket reinstalled in there. And then go back up and get our measurements again like we were supposed to be doing. Like I said, that's what I was saying. For those, I thought for some folks they'd like to be able to see how these things are done, but you see the YouTube videos where it's every step, and you don't get to watch in real time. So in this case, I was like, I'm gonna do this live so folks can see that. Not that I expect everybody to hang out for 4 hours. Don't get me wrong, but not to fast forward. But understand, there's this is what it takes to get some of this stuff installed. It's not just as easy as cracking open the package and throwing it up. Like, every situation is a little bit different. So now, these brackets, get these guys back in here, go back up on the roof. These should be nice. This should be a much better spot now that I can go in and get this set. So like I was saying, on my brackets here, they were too far spread on this side to be set right. So I moved this set over, this far set over. So now back up on the roof to do some measurements. This side, do some measurements. And I had to measure, excuse me, to produce some more markings to where I'm going to do my first set holes here. So I have a center line here somewhere. Oh, that's much better. Where's my center line at? Oh, there it is. And corner. Oh, actually, that's the other spot. Okay, that fits much better. So then there's the last piece, of course, which I didn't think about again when I went up there. Because, if you are making 1,700 trips up the ladder, you're not doing something right. So with this, pretty simple. You always want to make sure you get your brackets. I've kind of got this set up here now, so we're in a good area, but I've already got my center line on the roof up here. I know where the center of the actual roof is. Get these cables out of there. So this is my center line here. Where are we at here? Here, give or take where I want to be at. Because the center is like, well, I got 1, 2, 3 on that side. 1, 2, 3 on that side. Yep. That's the other easy way to check it out too. Just count your rips. So anyways, so I got this center line figured out, and then I measured to the top here down to the edge. I'm gonna say, okay, this is where we're at as far as so we know basically the width that it's at. Now what I'm doing is getting this where it's as level as possible on the actual on the roof here. Just gonna do some markings. Listen to my neighbors talk to me about. They're always laughing at all my little projects I'm doing. They don't realize I can hear them as they're walking by. All right. So I've got my 4 starter holes all set here. So that's good. So I'm just going to go punch a couple holes first. Some starter holes here. Then go back up, and I've got tap screws for this other spot. So be nice. So where's my little guy at? Oh, it's probably still in the... Oh, right there. All right. Yeah, because those are going to connect there. And so, like I said, what I do is I've got the 2 ends of the solar panels going to be coming together like this. They're connector wires, which they're going to come into this right here. They're going to meet in the middle, to which then I'm going to run down into the shed itself to my controller. So, first things first, I got some holes to pre-start here. 1, 2. Of course, I blocked them. Go me. Good job, Ryan. I'll get these ones at least. Yeah, there's that. And I just want enough to get it started. I'm not trying to drill all the way through. No, I just want something for the tap to be able to catch on. So it's not a huge endeavor up here. You know, it's a one-man show trying to crank on this thing. A little bit of extra steps right here keeps Ryan from ending up basically on his ass with a solar panel landing on top of him. That's the goal of today. All right, there's that. Cool, easy peasy. Now comes the fun time. Set screw time. Like I said, these are self-tapping screws. So these are self-tapping, which is what you want. They make life just that much, make everything about life easier. And for these, all right, so these make their way into here. Like I said, once I get the first one in, life gets a lot easier. So I'm going to start on the right and work my way to the left, since I am right-handed. We'll see how that goes, right? Kind of the idea. See how that goes. All right. And don't worry, I got people around keeping an eye on me too. I said, if you don't hear the drill running for a little bit, come take a look. If you hear a thud, also come take a look. That's probably me. So, all right. That was a bit of a joke, folks. But no, I got folks here that I know are keeping an eye on me. But this is pretty straightforward. We don't do unsafe things in my house. But like I say, I want this power out here. It's something, you know, just makes sense. I got power put on the house itself. I've got a 6.5 kilowatt hour system that installed earlier this week, actually, which is kind of nice. Okay, they got that. Man, I'll tell you this quick too. If you're ever curious about what that looks like as far as getting done, they were no joke in and out in 4 hours. Like a full, I think I have 18 panels up there. They were so quick, which is great. So now it's just the inspector the electrical expense, he lives around the corner from me, so that's already been done. Now I'm just waiting on the utility to update the system so it knows that I'm generating power. So, all right. So, like I said here, the goal on this is obviously getting these set. I've already leveled everything off. Let this here one get set. And these are self-tapping screws that they come with the mounting hardware, so no worries here. But like I said, I always try to do starter holes where I can. So that's what happened here. It'd be nice if you actually started tapping at some point. There we go. Things happened. Okay. There's one. Go us. All right. Go team. I'm going to tighten that up here in a second. The next thought I'm going to be is raising the ladder up and going up top here. There you go. That guy ain't going nowhere. Cool. All right, let's get these other two in. That takes care of the first bit. There we go. Look at that. Zoom in. Like I said, I already know my neighbors. Sorry about that. Me hitting the mic as much here, folks. My apologies, but I know my neighbors are already chatting. Like, oh, now he's got power, solar power everywhere. Where's this guy? Captain Planet. Depending on your age, you know what that is. Who that is. If you don't, I mean, I'm just old. That's all that means. So. Yep. Cool. Let's get this last one in there. Yeah, no rush. I'm not trying to be uber proficient on this. You know, biggest problem people run into on these, like these home projects, is they rush. That's when accidents happen. Okay. Cool. Cool. Well, there we go. Now I just need to do the four that are on top. I mean, I got to come up here one more rung. Then we'll just work on the next one. Now, when I looked at this kit that I got, you know, basically two 100-watt panels that I'm putting on here. I've got a south-facing roof here. I don't know the pitch on this thing. I think they said it was 22. I'm not sure. But either way, it's fine. There's nothing blocking any of this thing here. It's going to be basically full power all the time. So, you know, I'm going to have plenty of spare juice to go around. I plan on building out over the next couple months. Now, you know, throughout the year, 100 amp hour here, battery, another one, to the point where I get maybe, I don't know, 400-600 amp hours worth of power back here that I can also use as a backup for my generator, my gas generator for my house. Because I didn't get batteries for my solar panel system that I have on my house, because we never lose power here. But you know, that's another one thing just to keep in mind. It doesn't hurt to get it, to have that. So okay, oh, there they are. Literally looking right at them. So I was looking for the rest of the mounting stuff here. Okay, so I've got the first 4 of 8 are in. By the way, I already tested this system a few days ago to make sure everything was going to be running power on it. So, you know, obviously connect dry, you know, do a dry fit on everything. Make sure you're getting power ahead of time. You know, it's charging. I hooked it up basically just to my little battery for my my mower to make sure it was good. So there's that there. Time for the next 4. Again, these are they come with self-tapping bolts. So on the first 4, I pre-drilled the 4 bottom holes just so I wouldn't be up there having to force it as hard, just to more safety reasons than anything else. But now I'm just going to let the self-tapping things do what they do best, and get these last bits set in here. All right, so with that, other big piece here, again, just make sure when you're doing this, you're being safe. Take your time. I was just mentioning earlier, a little bit ago, people have this tendency to rush these projects. Don't do that. Take your time. Go. It's a little loud for you guys. Man, my mic is right by my pocket too, so I apologize. I gotta be using my gloves today because this roof is already wicked hot. We don't want to be around for that. Okay. This is the first of 2, so on my next one. Go. Cool. When I read on this, again, this is a 200-watt solar power system that I got from Amazon. I don't remember who. I'm sure it's on the box or whatever, but I don't remember who it's from. But again, all these systems are pretty much awesome at this point, and they're pretty much plug and play. You just gotta get them mounted and get them set up, and there's enough online tutorials for how to do it. You know, I wasn't gonna do another one because I'm not an electrical engineer, and I'm gonna be fumbling my way through this. Like I said, I already got it hooked up once. We were generating power, so as long as I didn't, when I had to make the adjustments to the one, do any damage. But I think we're gonna be okay. Nope. Whew. These screws are getting toasty. That's for sure. Go. All right, there's one in. One is done. Go us. All right, on to the next one. So the adjustments that I have to make, so I'm going to test. I'm probably just going to go ahead and do the same thing I did with these last one here, where I had to make some adjustments to the mounting holes. I may just do that ahead of time, because just the way that's set up, it does give me a little bit more wiggle room. So I think I want to do that. All right, just right at the beginning here. Not even worry about it. Okay. On to next one here. Same process. So nice and slow on this. Don't have any issues. Right there. You're right there. Yeah, I can't put too much pressure on this. Sorry if it's too loud, but I can't put too much pressure on it because I am drilling directly into the solar panels right underneath it. So I got this double up paper to protect, but there you go. See, that's what I mean. Like, it's quick, that pop through, and I don't want to thud the solar panel. That's a professional term, by the way, thud. If I can help it. So there you go. Didn't make it through the bottom. That's what I'm looking for. Just catch it. Do the next one. So let's do this next piece. I'm gonna keep on rocking and rolling here. I'm amazed I had to have my sunglasses on today. Love it. Oh, nice sweat going too. Being stuck inside the house all winter, this is nice. Starter hole. So, again, folks over at now. Next time I have some folks on, we'll bring that up. Nope. Out. Next piece. Cool. All right. So, again, if you're just joining, welcome. Good to have you here. We are installing. It is actually a 200 watt system, not 170 watt solar panel system with, I've got a lithium battery. Oops, sorry, over here. Sorry, with a lithium battery that I'm installing as well. So it's going on my shed. I've got the first one up, which is pretty cool. Got the first one up there already. I just need to get this second one on there. So I'm just had to make some adjustments to it, which are pretty common, to be honest, with these brackets. The bracket systems that they have are not made for they're made for shingles, roofs with shingles on them, and I have a metal roof on this, so I figured I was gonna have to make an adjustment, but I was right. So go me, way to be on top of things. So these, I'll connect them underneath, both of them underneath one of these. Yeah, that's what I'll end up doing. And just, sorry, I was just taking a look at what I was going to be doing that. So, you know, simple little S brackets on this, nothing crazy. So I am going to have to lift this out of the box, so just fine. What I'll do is then close the box. Go right here, everybody. Close this box. So I got somewhat of a raised surface to work on here. Yeah, so this is a top solar, as I mentioned, solar panel system where I'm going to be running basically an inverter. I have a 2500 watt inverter. I'm going to be running this through, so which will be nice. All right. So yeah, really good day today. Man, it is nice out today. We have not had this type of weather, like where it's been sunny, but it's been windy as shit. Like now it's actually sunny. It's nice temperature out, and we've got a nice breeze, just a light breeze here in northern Michigan. So can't ask for a better day to be out here doing, you know, basically this good stuff. Now, reason I got this, you know, this solar panel system when I did, and just kind of why I'm doing it with the inverter and everything, is I'm not convinced that electricity is going to get any cheaper anytime soon. If anything, I expect it to be going up quite dramatically. So that is why. Oh man, she's got a whole bunch of nettle growing in there. Look at her. Huh. But I got the neighbors going by. Yeah, nosy. I think church is church out? Yeah, church is just now out, so I should be having a procession of people coming by my house now to be nosy about my new solar. So, thank my neighbors. I love them. But, you know, as I've been building out this property, it's been an after church thing for folks to swing by my house and see what Ryan's been up to. Because folks are curious about what Ryan is up to. So, me, do what I can to help, but all right, let's get this guy in there. Get in there. Okay, let's put the brackets on now. He's trying to. For some reason I got stupid and can't do brackets, or can't put a nut on a bolt for some reason. That, all right, and the last bit's gonna be this one and this one. That should leave me with 4 and 4. Perfect. All right. So anyways, getting this thing installed here in my last bracket. Where's my last bracket at? There it is. Here. And get this, like I said, people are going to be complaining about electricity prices. I'll pay for it right now, pay up front. So I'm not worrying about the cash flow issues. Like per unit right now, what I'm paying to have this installed and doing this is going to be so much lower than what my prices are going to be for the next, well, rest of my days here on the property. So I am still connected to the grid. I'm not, no reason not to be where I'm at, unless they decide to go, you know, increasing, you know, just start throwing all these extra taxes just to be connected to the grid. Then yeah, then I will definitely be investing in a battery system that I can just maintain myself and not have to pay all of those ridiculous fees that they assign to them. You know, as they keep adding them on. I don't think that'll be the case, but I would not be surprised if my great state of Michigan continues to go the route where they start adding more and more fees to electrical usage, like consumption, like taxes. Because they're doing this, more and more people who are moving to electric vehicles and everything. Well, the amount of gas that we're buying goes down, so it means, right, everybody together, gas taxes go down. Government can't not get that tax money, so they'll find another way to get it from us. Yeah, it's all part of the deal. I mean, we all know what it was. Yeah, this has been a surprise that government's tax and they take. So like I said, the reason I'm getting all this solar stuff put in, I just don't see prices coming down any. So all right, so this is the second of my 100 watt solar panels I'm putting in. So first things first, just like I did in the last time I'm going to be running I'm going to do is basically pre-drill some holes. I may do it for all 4 this time. I didn't really like not having those when I was up earlier. So anyways, we'll see what this looks like. Pre-drill some of these holes to get started. So I'll be going up there with the panel, marking everything first, putting it up level, making sure the spacing's correct, etc., etc., etc. And then going from there. So with this, safety first. For me, getting on my first rodeo, but make sure everything's facing the correct way. Like I said, I'm going to put 4 holes down at the very bottom here with these braces. But first things first, let's get up. Let's get that level in place. So this thing evenly spread. We're just gonna line this bad boy up. Everything's where it needs to be. So what I did previous also is I've got a midpoint line between the bottom of the roof and the top, that eave area. So, and I've got it marked on the roof here, so I can basically line it up. This lets me know everyone's level, because we all know if it doesn't also look aesthetically pleasing, that'll give the neighbors something to talk about. And I want to try to avoid that to the greatest extent possible. So there's that. This guy's got to come this way a little bit. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I think we're in a good spot there. Sorry, I'm being quiet. This is just, I got my focusing face on right now. Make sure this is good. Right there. Okay. Okay, there we go. Should be pretty darn. Let's see how those look. I do not see them. Wait, hold on. Wait, they're up here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay. Whew. Had me worried there for a minute. Had to use my good eye. That was the problem. I wasn't using my good eye. All right. There's that. Like I said, I'm gonna pre-punch a couple holes up in there just to help. These neighbors my neighbors, I don't know if you can hear it or not, they bought a little crappy four-wheeler for their kids. Oh, I'm sorry, am I installing or fixing? I'm installing, for that, to answer your question. Sorry, I didn't see that until there. I'm installing. This is a brand new kit that I got, so I didn't see it there. I apologize. Yes, this is installing my 200-watt power system here that I got from Amazon. What's that? So yeah, it's just the installation for it. Picked it up. This is my 200-watt system I picked up a couple months ago off of Amazon. So like I said, I've got putting in the 200-watt system here. I've got a trying to think here, 2500-watt power inverter, solar charger, I'm sorry, the power. Man, sorry, solar charge. This charge controller, and then I've got a battery. 100 amp battery will be hooking up too. So everything going. Big piece is that I want to be able to trickle charge my battery over the winter. I want to be able to have my charging for these just out here, so I don't have to keep running back and forth from the garage. So I can have to keep a couple out here ready to go. And then also, I want to be able to run power to my greenhouse over here, so I can run some heat earlier. You know, just a little 1500 watt that I can run during the evenings to be able to help keep the temperatures up. So, all right. So now I've got, next up is getting these first 4 self-tapping bolts, and I'll show you where these are at. It comes with, the hardware is pretty straightforward on this, but it comes with self-tapping hardware. You guys can see that or not. There you go. Self-tapping hardware, but like saying, these are designed for not necessarily to go through these metal roofs, so I like to punch a couple starter holes in them. Gives them something to grab onto, so you're not, you know, tweaking it too hard. All right, so it'd be a little annoying here as I'm brushing up against the microphone while I'm doing this, but just FYI, it's gonna be a thing for a minute. That's it. You know, the thing is with these, my neighbors in their four-wheeler, it'd be one thing if this was like 8 and 10-year-olds. they're in their 20s, so we're dealing with, you know, basically some I want to say less than immature people here, but definitely not thinking of they're not necessarily thinking of others at the moment. They ran those for like 4 hours yesterday into the evening. So all right, so make sure we got this squared away. This guy sit here right now. All right, so anyways, this is just the install portion, getting these panels up. Well, this is the quote-unquote annoying part of it. More than anything, it's just getting everything started. And then what I'm going to do here is, before this, my cables. Sorry, I'm using my third hand. I use my mouse right now. Get started here. All right, let's get this first set of them going here. Here we go. Yep. All right, top part's done. Now it's just a matter of not losing my balance and falling out. All good here. That's good. These kind of taken care of now. So when I tested these before, they were kicking out at the 200. Nope. The 200 watt range. They were doing what they were supposed to be doing. So it was just around there. It was like 198. So, which is good. This was a couple days ago. That looks pretty good. Nice and level. Right where it should be. Okay. It looks pretty darn close to a line, so I will take it. Nope. Okay, let me get my other one. They're up 2. So, looks pretty good so far. Making good time. So I will be getting everything connected again here in a little bit. Cool. Last one. There we go. All right, that's 4 out of 8. I'm just going to do a couple pre-drills here. Take my time. The kid's about an idiot. All right. Anyways, the kids have fun, Ryan. Oh, okay. This one's a little bit closer than the other one. All right. Then the last bit here. Get this next set going. So like I said, when I started this, I knew I was going to put these up. I figured not a lot of folks have ever, like, you go on YouTube as far as for the install for these solar, basically solar power systems you run with inverters. You get the 15-minute install on YouTube. So I figured I'd just do this live, so that way, I know, and it's on, it's on shorts obviously, but I figured do it live so you can see in real time what it takes to put one of these in. And I had me about 4 hours to get this done, and I may actually, no, I'm not gonna jinx myself. I'm still gonna stick with 4 hours. That's where I'll be at. If I come in earlier than that, then I must have been we'll take that good luck that smiled upon me. We'll go with that. But you know, this is a 200 watt system. Starts for the install, so yes, easy peasy here. Take, and again, as I mentioned a couple times here, and I'll continue to mention it, take your time on these. Don't rush. Oh, it's great. That guy's gone. Oh, that's interesting. That went pretty quick. Last one. This last one's going to be a pain. All right, nice and solid. Good stuff. See how that looks. Now that they're both up there. Try to admire my work here. Take a second. See what this looks like together. I think that'll do. Go. Not like I'm going to change anything right now, but take a look at it from a little bit further out here. So again, this is a 200 watt system. Each one of those panels is 100. I wanted to get a system where I had multiple panels just in case one goes bad. You know, price on these things is going down, but so I got two 200 watt panels. Just put them in. Now it's going to be going through the process of basically running, connecting up, which again, I already did my pre-test on everything. Getting my basically the charge controller connected in to my battery, connected into my inverter. So that's kind of where we're at now. So like I said, I've already done a pre-test on all these. Did a dry fit just to make sure it was pulling power and it could charge up. I charged up. I connected to my battery for my my mower. Just run some power on it to see how it did charge it up, which is nice. But that's kind of the other reason why I want to have this, is that way I can also connect a trickle charger down to this thing, which would be nice. Well, a happy birthday, Noor. Is it Noor? Did I say that correctly? I can say happy birthday, Noor. Absolutely. So, as I got this charge controller, and I've got my 100 amp hour battery that I'll be connecting everything to. So, next up on this is, before I go too far, is I'm going to be connecting this up to see what kind of power we're pulling. Like, that's going to be next on the old list before we go any further about connecting. What type of power am I pulling? With that, probably a good time to break out my battery and just make sure everything is doing what it's supposed to be doing before I go any further. So with that, if you've been here for a minute and you like what's going on here, please, feel free, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, give me a heart, random, let me know you're there. Subscribe, obviously. So I have a couple of things I do on my channel. One is I'm a business coach, so you'll see I do it's called Small Business News. I do it just about every day in the mornings on YouTube, or between 7:30, 8 o'clock, and 9 Eastern, where I go over the articles that I'm looking at for my clients every day to send them information. I'm doing it basically in real time, sharing it, and then I do an awful lot of this garden stuff too as well. So where you'll see that's the other areas where I'm spending time doing this. So, I wonder if I want to try. I'm actually going to hook it up to this one. We're going to change some stuff out here. I ordered a different charge controller for reasons. So for reasons, I am going to so I'm going to change it out. Mainly because it's not that I didn't trust that it wasn't going to work for my lithium battery, but man, I just want to make sure I had that little bit of a worry. Let's do this first. Let's get these off. Okay, this one. Those are out. So first things first, we're just going to connect this up and see what kind of power we're pulling. So, actually read through this to make sure. Let me read the directions on this one to make sure I got this right. Might be speeding a little bit here. Connect battery to this charge. Plus minus. All right, so battery first. Then, okay, so battery first. Then the solar charge. You guys are watching to see if I electrocute myself. I don't blame you. It's probably going to be a good show when it does happen. So tune in. You never know what's going to happen. Just kidding. Just kidding. I don't think that's going to happen. All right. What a nice day out today, though. Where are you guys at? Because it's here. We're here in I'm in Western Michigan, and you know it's gorgeous out today. It's sitting at I don't know, probably close to 65 degrees. All the sunshine. I even had, like I said, even had to throw my shades on today. So. Okay, first things first, it's going to be my battery. So let's get this guy hooked up. This should be exciting. Bring this guy over. Bring you guys a little closer for this. Let's see what I'm working on. Yeah, where are you guys at? Because like I said here, we've been, we get these type of days. We don't, at least this time of year we get them, but not very often. We do get them. We're kind of jealous, but. So anyways, the other idea here, like I say, I'm working on this is going to be for my garden. You guys have liked or followed any of the stuff that I've done before. You'll know that you'll see I live stream kind of in the afternoons from time to time. I also live stream basically just from my greenhouse or on the garden if I'm doing stuff. All right, so here's my battery. Look at this guy. Ooh-wee. Ready for battle here. Hey. These are not the right size. Where did my... What do I think of? Let's see. They're the right size. Yep. We'll just bolt these on. All right. All right. This is just going to be a little bit of an adventure here, so hang tight while I do this. Going to get everything out and get it situated. This hole should be the same as that one. Okay, these guys are the same. There they go. Where you at? Where you is? There you are. Yep, identical. Cool. Alright, so here's this bad boy. And this guy is no joke. That's the idea. So, first things first is we want to get battery connected, then I hate these little these tiny little screwdrivers you got to use for this. It's so annoying. Just because of how they're set up, they're so tiny. Where's this guy at? Let's see. Here we go. This is probably going to be good. There we go. All right. Solar. Yeah, anyways, just working on getting the solar, basically getting my solar controller here. A little bit so you guys see what I'm working on. Yeah, these, they've got these, the bolts are so far, the screws are so far inset, it's just more annoying than anything. Can't get that torque. Let's try with this. Of course. All right, let's get a little bit of torque on this thing now. There we go. Just had to get some torque on it. Now we're good. So first things first is battery. Reading my directions correctly there. So battery first. All right. So I got red. Oh, we got a ways to go on this. All right. Oh man, I had like so many darn butterflies the other day come in, and my my fruit trees have started doing their thing, and my bushes up front are flowering. We've got like I have all the butterflies are coming through, so it's really pretty. It's really nice. Which good. We definitely want to make sure that they got something to chomp on for sure. But it also means if they're coming, my bees aren't going to be far behind. We want my bees to know where all my vegetables are at. So that's the other reason for making sure you got all the stuff for the pollinators. All right, so red to red. Whew. Battery. Come here. That is red. Let me go ahead and get this off. Show what size that is. Imagine 5/8 is probably the winner. 5/8 or 7/16. 9/16 wasn't a half. There you go, 9/16. All right. Oh yeah, so this is the fun stuff. I don't care who you are, getting to do these type of things is just great. Of course, if you actually are able to do it in a safe way, it's better. This is going on to make sure it's nice and tight now. That. So yeah, so like I've got this 100 amp hour lithium, iron, what's Po? Not potassium. Phosphorus? Oh. All right. This last one up here. Okay, that's say that's positive. So we're kicking at 13.1 on this now. So you can see this. Just give you show what's coming up on this. You see that too well. So it's giving me basically what my current voltage is at. batteries, let me know we've got stuff to power. So these USB things will work. And then on the left-hand corner of this charge controller, it's letting me know it's a lithium battery. So, you know, and these things are really inexpensive. They're like $15 for a charge controller on Amazon. I've got a couple extra, specifically just because in case one of these goes for whatever reason, you don't want to be down with power over something that doesn't cost that much for backup. All right, so next on the list is going to be getting all these connected. So getting our power panels connected. All right. Here, I'll back up a little bit, just kind of see what I'm doing here, because I've got to connect up top a bit with what I'm doing here. They're out there. This is me connecting the negative and the negative and the positive sides of this, so we can see what will be feeding into this. So we'll start with my positive, because this will be positive, right, folks? You always want to start. And again, this is simply just a test drive on this to see where we're at, because I've got to run all these cables back, start drilling some holes and connect them into the actual shelf itself to where I can have my inverter set up and installed. So, all right, so positive first. And once I have this up here too, I will, and what's great about these, you can't mess up how these are set up. It's male to male, female to female, so they're what they are. But they also have, they're color coded with red little gaskets, so you know. But once I get this set up and have here, I'm gonna basically rig these up so these cables are gonna be down here, and I'm gonna run these, just punch them in over here. I'm not too worried about it looking pretty coming here, because at the end of the day, it's my property, and I'm not worried about it. I can always come and paint that brown if it bothers me too much. Got red there, red here. Click and click. Now I'll just go get my negative ones. And they can't, like I said, they can't interconnect. Like, they can only go one side into one side. It's just the way it is. So there we go. And there we go. Last bit here. My solar panel up here, and just see what kind of charge we're pulling. Bring you guys back over for that. Fingers crossed, we're still sitting in that 200 range that we were at. You know, it was at 190, like 197, 198 when I was doing it before. So, and again, these are Ryan proof. On the top of each one of these places where I'm connecting it, they have a picture of a solar panel with a plus or minus, then they have a picture of a battery with a plus or minus, and then they have a picture of basically a light bulb, plus or minus. So super simple stuff. Now, starting with positive. Positive goes in here. Negative. Of course, I did the full, you know, do-si-do roundabout there, just to that the negative wire was right where it was supposed to be. Last bit. Hopefully this afternoon we'll have some time to get out and chase some mushrooms too. We'll see. Those should be popping now. And I have got power coming in. So, all right. Again, so you can see this. This is what this looks like. See where I've got the solar power on the left-hand side there is blinking. It's showing it's charging the battery, and then it's also available for power. So that's the thing. CO2. Okay, things are happening. So right now we currently got this thing set up to where it's keeping, and then I'll be testing to make sure that the inverter is that basically all the power is working like I need to there. So I'll be right back on that. 1 second. My fan. Should we just use this guy right here? Let's use this. I gotta bring my fan over. All right. All right. So next up on this, I'm let the battery charge, so that ain't gonna hurt nothing. It's gonna be connecting this. Oh man, all sorts of goodies here. All right. And my dog barking at me over there, so. All right. Let me open this up and get the wire, excuse me, sorry, my big head. All right. Okay. Got it. All right. All right, let me just read here. So, all right, so plain and simple. Looks like this is just gonna be connecting her up and calling it a day. Okay, so to disconnect this is the thing. Just keep in mind when you're doing this is you go in reverse order of the way you set stuff up. So first things, if you solar panels go in last, okay, so they need to come out. All right, boom. Safety first. I'm gonna go up and disconnect those real quick. I do this. I do not want those two lines accidentally coming together, causing any sort of short circuit. While I'm working on this, how did I get this out before? Oh, they're right there. There we go. Good. All right. And disconnect the charge inverter here. Then just connect up my batteries here, and just make sure this inverter is working. And then I'll start basically drilling some holes, mounting this thing up, and we're basically done. It's kind of nice. It's the operating principle of this is pretty straightforward. Nothing really to get too worried about or even overthink. But you got to do it in the steps that you got to do it. You know, you don't want to rush this thing or do something incorrectly. So yeah, we got Panels are powering. Check. That's what you want. We've got panels are powering. They were charging. The charge controller was doing its thing. Now it's the last bit is just hooking this guy up. This guy, gal. You're gonna keep every one of the safety things here for sure. If I do this once here, we're just gonna be kind of done with it. So. So yeah, if you ever thought about this, again, this is going to run enough power for me. I've got a 2500 watt inverter. I have a 100 amp hour battery here that, you know, I'm not too worried about it. You know, I'm going to eventually over the next, over the summer really, is I'm just going to maybe every month or so, just buy another battery. I'm not trying to do it all at once, you know, don't want to, you know, just use it when I've got some extra cash. Use this for an investment piece, kind of like what I did last year when I was buying all the stuff for my property. I did it in phases. So, you know, bought the stuff for my basically my garden enclosure and everything I needed there. Did that in sections, and then do the same thing here with stuff for this. And the reason being is, over time, I want to be able to have enough batteries in here. It was 2500 watt inverters, all I really need, but to be able to run, like saying, heat for a good chunk of my time. Just earlier, a couple months, and even just 6 weeks earlier in the greenhouse would be just preferable. So I can just hit the ground running. You know, also gets me out of the house a little bit too. If you all know what that's like to get a little stir crazy. So, wait, did I? Ryan, you got to use the right. That's the problem. I was looking at colors instead of paying attention to what I was cooking up. I grabbed the wrong cable. So anyways, this is a 200 watt system that I got from Amazon, from as far as for the solar panels with the charge controller. The battery I got from also, but again, I ordered the battery and the inverter separate. Mainly I just to make sure I had the right one. You know, want to make sure I got what I wanted to get first. Long story short, so make sure I was good there. So, which I do. I'm really happy with my little 200 watt system. I just put those up on the roof. We'll take a look at those in a second here. And like right now, I am literally just doing a function test on this inverter. I just got it in the mail a little bit ago, and I have not hooked it up yet to make sure that it is, you know, inverting like it should. So I've got my tiny little, I got my greenhouse heater here, but I'm just gonna just right now come back and tighten everybody up here super tight once it's installed. But just to make sure that it's doing the power in the way that I need it to do the power. So that's backwards. Come on, Ryan. Wondering about that. What I get for not paying attention here. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm super excited to be out here again. This is just, the weather has been fantastic lately. Obviously, we got a beautiful day out right now. But what's really nice is that, you know, yesterday, I'm a business coach, so I work with small and medium-sized businesses to help them grow their businesses. If you want to learn more, summitbusinessguys.com, follow the channel. But, you know, I also do a lot of garden stuff. But this new crew that I'm with, man, are they ever great. They're just motivated. I know my clients are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm really picky about who I work with. But, man, these guys were great. They had really, really good, like, intuitive questions that I love to see from my clients. Like, making 100%, just making sure that they fully understand what the expectation was on the tools and the things that I wanted them working on, just so that they could make sure it was going to be as successful as possible. And, you know, as a business coach, just like any other coach, like any other teacher, when you've got a crew that is, I want to say humble, but that's not necessarily it. Humble's important for sure, but they're just in tune and intuitively say, man, we want to give this the absolute best to run, to do what you're saying, to give it a try because you're saying it's going to help us. They just believe you and they jump in, you know, smartly, not just blindly, but they're smart about it. Few things in this world are just better for a coach Like I just love that stuff. Like with this team. So they were asking some very, very good questions on a lot of the stuff that we work on, which I love to see. And you know, it was a 6.5 hour day on their Saturday. They came in because they, you know, couldn't be away from work. And that's where a lot of the businesses most of the businesses where I come in, we have to end up doing weekend work because they don't have the business processes in place, or the staff or the team. Well, mostly the processes, the staff, we can get there pretty quick, but it's the processes in place to allow them to not be around. I think we all know what that's like, right? You just got to be there or stuff doesn't happen. So we work on getting the correct processes in place so that they can, you know, they can be away on the weekends. I think that's the end of the day. We all have families. We want to be doing stuff, right? Okay, here we go. Red to red. Red to red. Okay, no electrocution so far. Check. Then we get black to black. Ooh. Yep, there is that. That's good. So, by the way, that's the one that always gets me. You know, you got a good connection when you get that spark that pops in. That means you got it. You got everything kind of right, which is good. So, power's on. Says that's happening. I'm gonna plug in my fan. Fingers crossed that my fan decides to turn on. Oh yeah, we got some wind blowing here. All right, so today, so far, this is what is important. So I've done it prior to hooking everything up. I did a full check. Well, actually, here, let me crank this. Okay, now I got the heat on too. Cool. This is a 2,500 watt inverter. This is a 1,500 watt fan. Great. So put it back on the fan here. Turn it off. All right. So what I did here prior to all this was, first things first was I got the package in the mail, took everything out, made sure nothing was broken. Super important. Did a dry fit on everything to make sure it was good. Like, just make sure everything fit together, and that I was pulling power where I should be pulling power from, i.e. from the panels, that everything was charging. Just connected to whatever battery I had in here just to make sure it was doing its thing. Everything worked great. Put it in here, waited for today to where I could get in and get up and install it. So with that, what it looks like, got those. Come on, use your hands, Ryan. There you go. Those are two 100 watt solar panels that we put in there, and just had to make a couple adjustments with the brackets there, make sure that they fit correctly. So those are good. Next is going to be basically just doing a connection there, running it down, running the power under, and I'm going to set up everything over on this side of the shed is what I'm thinking. So, but anyways, the methodology used there is real simple. Dry fit everything first, test it, make sure it's set up and it's working before you start putting any holes anywhere, which is what I did here. And then now it's just been going through the process, getting everything installed. Like I said, I gave myself 4 hours to get this done. I'm at 1 hour and 45 minutes. And when I did this, I wanted to have a video out there to show, hey, this is how long it takes just to do a basic setup on these things. So I think we're doing pretty good so far. All right, so I'm going to disconnect, kind of clear my space out here because I did make a little bit of a mess when I was doing all this stuff, you know. But clear out my workspace some. That inverter's fine where it is. I got to drill some holes through, do some connections, and then do all the double checking on everything to make sure it's good, which is great. Big piece on this is that pick yourself up, pick up an extra charge controller. Very important. These things don't cost that much, like very much at all, but you know, they do go out. So that way you've got a spare and you're not waiting and losing out on potential issues here. So something to keep in mind, make sure that's a deal. Something you have. All right. There's this here. Ooh, the shade, markedly cooler. All right, so let's clear some of this stuff out. Think about the spot where I'm going to be putting this battery. I'm just going to go right here, mount my battery right here, and put the inverter Yeah, I could put it right against just maybe this one here. Now we'll put it on the side. I'll figure that out in a second. I'll get my inverter somewhere in a minute. First things first is going to be my battery's going to go up here. So next spot is going to be drilling my connection hole, basically the hole through here to run stuff down. And to be honest, I think I may actually run this off to the side here just a little bit. No, I'll be all right. Okay, so for the hole size, let me look at the size of these. Probably get through with a 1/2 inch on those. Less is, when it comes to putting holes in your exterior, remember, less is best. Less is best. You do not want to be punching unnecessary holes in your exterior. Especially when it comes to this stuff. Maybe I want to run it on this side. I can run it here, do a connection here, and then just run it down here. And then my inverter, I'll place on the wall right up here, which will then let me run it to the battery here and then the battery down. Well, the battery here, inverter here. Yeah, let me, you know what, I'm gonna reverse course on this a little bit. I'm actually gonna install this inverter first and the battery, get them up, and then decide where I'm gonna punch this hole, because I got plenty of cable length. So let's go inside the shed. Let's have it make us see if we can come to a decision on this. All right. Whew. Welcome to the shed, folks. We're basically 1 weekend away from cleaning this thing out, which I know my wife will be happy about. She'll be ecstatic. She has not liked, well, rightfully so, and it's a good space, but I want to make sure that it's all right. Let me straighten you out here. There we go. Okay. All right. So we're gonna be getting next decision point we're making here is. Oops, sorry about the noise. It's gonna be where my. Oh, so you guys will like this. I do my own wreaths during winter time. So I've got this, and these are all filled with those. You can get them; they're great. These little 8-inch deals to make your wreaths with. If you got pine trees around, you get it for save yourself a ton of money. You get them, do them yourself. So, and plus, it's not a bad project for like a 1-day project. Okay, so let's have thoughts about what I want to do here. So let me unconnect unconnect. Good Lord, Ryan, use your words. Let's disconnect. So I'm just disconnecting the battery from the inverter at the moment. There. Put the bolt back on just a little bit. It's connecting the positive side here. Sorry, I'm off screen, folks. I'll be back on in a moment. Continue your regularly scheduled awesomeness here. Okay, here's this. The other thing, man, I tell you what I really like about these lithium batteries, just how light they are. It's so nice. All right, so I think what I'll do, this guy is going to live here. I think that's it. Sorry, I'm adjusting everything here. Oh, by the way, for those that haven't seen this before, these are great. Highly recommend you get one. It's not a Leatherman. It's actually in the garden. It's great. It's a set of shears that fold up. It does have all the rest of the tools too, but it's really nice. Okay, so we're gonna do that there. And yeah, because what I'm gonna eventually do here is, so I've got this, the plan that I have currently is I'm gonna set up like battery here, right? Here. I'm just gonna put them all along the the ridge there and just connect them up that way, I think is what I'll do. It's current thoughts. Not sure if it's a full-time one or if it's the right one, but it's kind of where I'm living at right now. Okay. Next bit is this one. And 2500 watt inverter. Here. Make sure it's got, yep, I got enough to get there. You've got enough to get there. So I think this is pretty much what I'm going to end up having to do. Just put this bad boy right there. Open up like that. I don't think having it this way is really going to be an option. Yeah. I don't really want to have it. I mean, I could put it up there and then I just have the power coming out straight. Let me look at that. Let me look at that real quick. This is the one thing I didn't have the inverter, so I couldn't necessarily. Thank you for the hearts. Appreciate that. Thank you. I couldn't figure out until I had my inverter so I could start playing around with this. I wasn't really sure how I was going to set this up. So it's nice to be able to kind of have this now so I can, you know, do what I need to do with that. I wonder what's, let's see what size that was. What size are these? So great day today though. So yeah, this is a lot of goodness across the board. These look like, are those 10s? No way that's a 10. I can't be that lucky, can I? I am that lucky. Look at that. I was just looking at the screws, the bolt size, no size for my inverter. Like I was saying, so until I had this beast, I had my inverter, I really wasn't sure what the size, I was going to set it up there. So now that I've got it, let me go ahead and just get these things installed here in the way that I want to. Make sure all my connections are tight. Then I'm going to hop up on my extra, on my step ladder there. Safety first, right? Safety first. And that to get this situated. So the thing is, I don't really know if I want the heat blowing up. You know what? I think I'm probably overthinking this. Yeah, I don't want to lose that 10 millimeter. I know. I think I think it's always funny when you go to the 10 millimeter too. There's only, when you go to the any of the hardware stores, they just have a big old bucket of them. They're ready to go for it. So yeah, I know that cracks me up. But it's like they know us or something. But anyways, now that I have this thing, I kind of know the size, and I have this. It's, I don't know, it's conditioned. You know how when you can close your eyes and you can imagine, you can picture things. I can't do that. I don't have a visual imagination, so I have to literally see things. I have to have people draw stuff out of me because I can't imagine what things look like. Now, you get anything in front of me, like visually or put stuff together, I can pretty much look at something and eyeball it and say if it's going to fit in the space. But if I don't have it in front of me to be able to see, yeah, it's called aphantasia. You want to look it up. It's like 2% of the population has it. My mom has it. Which I found out. I asked her, I was like, people, which I'm so jealous of everyone. You all got this ability to just, again, like you said, picture, like, you know, the ghost, picture things in your mind. That's just wild to me. I got nothing. It's just blank. So let me grab my little step stool here. So yeah, like you be going to these you go to those conferences or whatever it is, you know, say, picture yourself on a desert island, right? I always thought, you know, so I just pretend, right? Okay, I guess I'll pretend what this looks like, whatever that means. I thought everybody else was pretending too. Lo and behold, y'all weren't pretending. You actually were. It was a thing. So like, oh, this is real. All right. So I can put this on the side here. Put that. So there's plenty of space up here for the inverter. Yeah. We're good. We're good. So we'll have this individual right here. Oops. Right here. Got that there. So I do have what is nice too is I do have an out direct line on this one. Is the other piece that I got. So you got your 4 outlets plus 2. I can move you guys to the thing. Come on, Ryan. So we're excited to get this also. It's got the 4 outlets plus the USBs. But it also does have the direct connect too. And when I just do actually set in here, because I do plan on putting a panel in here in this vicinity at some point, you know, it does actually still have the ground hookup and everything too, which is, you know, which will be nice. So, but yeah, 2,500 watts should be enough, more than enough for what I'm doing. Okay, so now I have a better look at this. I think I'll do, I'm going to run this down. And I'm going to punch my hole in right in this area, right, or punch it in right in this spot. Place my, let me take that guy out. What size is that? That's little. Let me get that guy out of there. Come on, use your head. What are you out here for? I think it was for a 1/4 inch. You can do this. It's crazy the way we talk to ourselves sometimes. Like, I knew I went out there for a reason and I completely forgot. It should be even smaller than a 1/4 inch. It can't be 730. Is that even a real? Okay, didn't think so. 7mm. Okay. That's so weird. All right, so anyways, 6mm somewhere. Just pretty please let me get this thing off. Come on, Ryan. Don't get frustrated. Just grab your. When in doubt, just grab the vice grips. When in doubt, just grab the vice grips. So yeah, and I can put the charge controller here. Put the feet up there. Let's see this thing. Here, I may actually have it. I can pop that right here, which will let me take this up to the battery there. Battery goes to there. Solar panel come here, and then any direct light bulb stuff got there. Okay, I think that's. So I might as well. Just thinking about it. Where did that go? Do? Might as well. Oh, it's right here. Here we go. Take these all out, get it installed, and then all right. This guy's in, so let's go and get this installed. Making some decisions, folks. Things are happening. So, about to get real up in here. One thing when you got dry fit, it's a whole other thing when you start attaching stuff to walls. Am I right? So, let's go ahead and get my charge controller installed. I don't think I need those. Those are a bit excessive. Let's go with this. It's probably not nearly as intrusive. These 1 5/8 inch here. It's a better. I don't need to be putting 3-inch screws, wood screws in for this thing. It's not like that's going to be getting ripped off or anything. All right, that for these. Sweet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Those who've been hanging out with me for a minute here. I've been doing this. It's a good time doing this. Good to hang out, talk to some people about these things. And like I mentioned, so this was I wanted to do this in real time so folks could look at it and say, hey, here's how long it takes to do an actual install. Again, I'm not a professional, like in any way, shape, or form. But this was simply just me wanting to say, hey, you know what? We see all these YouTube videos where these folks are doing this. And it's, you know, they show it being like a half hour or all of the installs already done and they just walk you through it. I wanted to actually have something out here saying, hey, real time, here it is in course of, you know, on a Sunday, where most of us, you know, forgot the weekend, it's your time. Oh boy. Okay, mental note. The plastic on these things is super soft. So, super soft on the plastic here. I've already kind of scrunched it a little bit. I'll show you guys here. So, what? Don't be me. Don't be me on this. I'm going to show you what I did here. I broke rule number 1, which is don't hurry. Rule number 1 when you're doing this stuff, don't hurry, because you end up doing this, which is fine because I got 2 of them in there, but you can see they got smushed. Nobody likes that, right? We don't want that. But now that's in. So that decision has been made. Yay us. I love that for us. That looking good. Next is going to be punching in our 1/2-inch hole here so that we can run the power lines through. Like I said, yeah. I'm going to run that all the way around this one side and down. Then we're going to come through right here, but I'm going to go towards the back. Well, I want it towards right here. In this area right there. Okay. All right. So there's that. So in theory, it's all theory now, of course. All right, so we're going to come back out here now. I'll just run this through because these are going to get clipped down. Actually, I'll probably just wind these up. Just run them through. Should start seeing some. I'll show you a trick on these right now. Okay, so these are through. I'm going to show you a trick. What you do whenever you're running cable, any sort of cable into like an overhang like that or anything on the house, right? So if I was coming in, let's say on the side here like this, instead of going up, say I was coming in the side, you always want to make sure that there's a droop down like this that leads down no matter what you have, because the water, even like this, I'm going to have a little bit of a little hoop here that lives there, like that. And what that does is when you have the water, you know, imagine this is the roof, it's coming down, it's going to track and follow along this wire the whole way and come in through the actual hole you put. It'll eventually work its way in. So I had a ladybug came after me. They're all over in here. But when you do this little loop, this drop down like that, it drips right there. Gravity takes over, and you just have it dripping off right there, and it won't come into your, it won't come in the house at that point, is what you want. So just a little note there. So as I'm hopping through here, then talk about what we've got. This is the Top Solar 200-watt system that I ordered from Amazon. I picked up a lithium battery, a 100 amp hour battery, and then also a 2500 watt inverter. I bought them all separately. So that way I can have power out here in my shed. Like that's ultimately what this is for. So I can do this. I can run a heater in my greenhouse. Mainly also I could just run power to for my equipment here as well. During the winter, I can have a trickle charger on my battery for my my lawnmower. So that'll be good. I'm going to have my power tools out here. So all the goodness here. All right, so we're at the point now where I've got to throw my gloves back on because that roof is going to be smoking hot. We're going to be connecting up, doing the connections on the solar panels here. So the idea here is I'm going to be coming to this side, right over here. I'm going to run the cable down and drop it down right here and then hook it in here. So I just wanted to be able to, you know, that's why I was getting everything staged in there ahead of time. So I knew where I needed to punch that hole at first prior to come doing the other stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, I knew where the solar panels were going to go. That wasn't too big of a challenge. So first things first here, I try to do this without me moving the camera too much here, is I'm going to go in and connect, run this through, run these lines through one at a time. Just kind of weave them here to get them to the point where I can do my connections. And this system that I have is and you can get different adapters for it, right? This is a 2-prong adapter, and that's rated for this wire. You could probably go up to 4 adapters running through here, but you add too many more than this, your best bet is actually to increase the gauge of your wire and get more adapters. Just be safe. It is a fair amount of juice that, you know, it's pushing through here. So, so there's my first piece that I did not think through. All right, so there you go. Real time, folks. Pull those back through. The ridges are not going to let me get my my connector through. Go figure. So this guy, here, just get you right there. All right, you live there right now. So I'm going to do. Oh, ladybugs are hanging out up here, living their best lives. Now with these connectors, as I mentioned before when we were talking about this, they can really only connect one way. It's male to female, female to male. So you can't mess that up. So don't worry about that too much. And what I'm going to be doing here is I want to do this in a way. I'm checking all the connections too. Get this back here. So I'm going to fish this through. You know, a better man would have had some sort of conduit in place to run this, but you know, I had no idea what the setup was going to be, so I'm not going to be too hard on myself with that. So we're going to be looking now. There's my here's that there. Good. All right. So just be careful. The other piece here, when you are moving this cable around all these different parts here, right? Right now I've got a ton of brackets and there's soft white metal and this other crap that's going on here. You take your time on this because there's a lot of sharp edges here that if you do not take your time with it, right, and you're not thinking about it, you will get yourself in a position. There we go. That's what I want to do, is pull that so it's under the panel. Best thing I have there. Take your time, because what you end up having is that on the metal, you're going to have that wire scraping against it, and you don't want to impact your insulation with these. So, all right. So the next spot here is going to connect the negative side here. And again, when I installed these up here, these 2 separate panels, I made sure when I put them in that the 2 they aren't inverters, but the junction boxes they have underneath were right next to each other, so I could connect them together that way. So, like I said, take your time when you're doing this. Plan this stuff out, so you know you're not having to, especially when it comes to the connections at the roof. You do not want to ever have to pull. Once you get these screws in, the last thing you want to do is have to undo those. That would be super bad. You don't want that. All right, there's that one. I'm just gonna feed these down, and I'm going to come back through once this is all installed and we're all kicking. I'm going to come back through here. I've got probably later tonight, but I'm going to hit everything with a sealant. And then on these areas here, up in this spot where it's up against the roof, you know, clean this up a little bit, straighten it up. But I'm going to come through, paint these brown to make sure. I'm going to basically maybe tape them over or do something so the red isn't sticking out as much. Again, just for aesthetic reasons, nothing more, nothing less. All right, so I'm doing the connections here again. As a reminder, I said before, I'll say again, you can't mess these up. Even if you try, you can't. That's how good they are. So don't stress about how those are going to look. Let's pull all that through. All right. There's that. Look at that, folks. We got solar panels up there. We got wires coming down. All sorts of happiness is occurring. All right, so I got this black one here. I'm gonna run through. Again, I'm gonna pull up all the slack here, but I don't think I'm gonna crimp these wires. I think if anything, I'm gonna maintain them. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, if anything, I think I'm going to maintain the wires just their length they have, and I'll just bunch them up in the back, you know, coil them up out of the way. And we'll see. I may end up, if I end up changing where the battery and the inverter, I don't want to have to buy new, basically buy new power cord if I don't need to. All right. Cruising here. So yeah, this is again our 200 watt solar panel system install from beginning to end in real time. Like I said, a lot of these YouTube videos, I love the professionals, I love the folks that do it, you know, but they kind of, I don't say they cover up any of the errors they make, but you know, you don't get to say, it may seem a little more daunting to you because you didn't get to watch somebody do it in real time. In this case, I want to be able to show people, and this is going to be saved to my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you want to see more of the stuff that I work on here in my garden and around the area. I'm also a business coach. You'll see a lot of the stuff that I do there as well. But if you're curious about what I have here, you know, give me a subscribe, give me a like, give me a follow. But you can come back to this video and see it in real time. You know, I said I gave myself 4 hours to get this done, and I'm at 2 hours and 15 minutes, and that's with screwing up a couple of times. So it's not, again, it's not that these things are hard to do, but they are a little tedious, and so you just got to, you know, attention to detail on a few things. You know, it's little things like making sure you have your measurements first, make sure you have your level with you, make sure your marks are correct. But you know, little things we had to go through, like the mounts that we had for the mounts that we used actually on the solar panel themselves. They weren't spaced correctly for my roof because I have a metal roof and it's got, you know, it's ribbed. So like that's a whole issue into itself that we had to take into consideration. All right, so now we're to the point things are going to start getting hooked up. So go back to my directions. I know how to do it. Best known practice though, always best known practice. That's why I coach my folks. You train to a checklist, you don't train to the job. So even though I know exactly how to hook this up and disconnect it every single time, whenever you're dealing with electricity, things like this, always follow the manual, always follow the steps every time, even if you know it. Just because you may forget something or it helps you with that. So it's connect the battery. All right, connect the battery to the live charge regulator plus and minus. And we'll show you what that looks like in a second. Then you connect the solar panels, right? So, and then last is going to be the consumer to charge to the regulator plus minus, which we're not going to have. So the way it's going to go is I'm going to have the inverter and battery hooked up, then hook them up to the charge controller. Then we're going to connect the solar power. right? And that should have everybody doing what it needs to do at that point. That is the theory. Right and right. Okay. So with that, let's get these guys connected up here. It's been a good little project, you know. I have like saying it's a 2,500 watt inverter that I have on the shed here. We did a dry fit on everything first. Everything out of the box. I tested everything ahead of time just to make sure that, you know, we were pulling a charge, that the inverter was doing the things that inverters are supposed to do, you know. All that was happening. So that's, you know, love that for us. And then, yeah, so my goodness there. Okay, so I do not want this to be a thing. You guys go live over there. You're there. So for this, I need this piece here. This piece here. Let me read that one more time. Make sure, right? Battery, then solar panel. Battery, then solar panel. Then, in this case, it's going to be battery and inverter, then solar panel. Other things just, you know, to keep in mind while you're doing this here. You guys come up here with me, I suppose. Really looking at my rear, see if I can find a way to get you up here. Probably. Should be a way. Let me if I can shrink this down or get this guy just to pop right off. Let's see. I have no idea if this is going to work. We'll find out. We're going to figure this out together, folks. You one in. I'm assuming you can see me. Let's see if I can see you here in a second. All right. Yeah. So just for now, just going to see what I'm doing up here. Okay. Not sure what that was. We'll worry about it later. So. Here we be. All right. So, yeah, I think we're good here. I'm not worried about this being too hot because I'm not running my inverter all that much during, like, it's only going to click on basically when I need it in the evenings. And I'm not, this is that less. Yeah, I think we'll be all right. Like I said, the fans will do their thing. They'll blow the hot air there. It'll blow over here. Not that I'm having second guesses, but I almost maybe I'm going to drop this down here. Having second thoughts here now that I'm up here just because of the warmth that I have. And maybe put the inverter down just a little bit because the temperature difference between up here and down there is pretty significant. So maybe I will do that. Put the inverter on the. You know, I could do that. How about, all right, change plans here. Right now that I actually have my head sticking up in the ceiling there, I'm not 100% sold on that. I want to have my inverter up there just cranking all the heat out. So I'm going to do a quick little adjustment here. All right, we're going to adjust on the fly here. Sorry, you're going for a spin. All right, little adjustment. I think you guys will like this. All right, 1 second. I know I got it. Perfect size. Okay, so what I'm going to do instead, again, just a quick change here. I'm going to mount these two boards here just because I want that inverter just to be down a little bit. The difference in temperature between here and here is almost 30 degrees. I can just feel it while I'm up there, and I don't want that to be the case when I'm dealing with this inverter. Like I'm running here and have the power. Yeah, that'll be better. Let's do that. At least we'll give that a try for this bit, and then if we don't like it, we'll move it again. The joys of this being, you know, my property, and I can do stuff like this. Hooray! All right. So let me grab. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, that's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna put this on the wall for now, and then we'll adjust it later. But for now, let's get this guy rolling. Oh, more butterflies coming around to say hi. Love this time of year. Okay, like I said, quick adjustment. Now that we're actually getting things in place, you can always adjust back later. By the way, one thing you know, if you hear this, it locks your it locks it into place. It's pretty cool. I actually learned that the other day on a YouTube channel. This guy had it. So we're gonna do this all the way to this corner there. I'm just gonna drop this guy in right here to start. Yeah. All right. That's not a good start. All right. Not a good start to that. We'll just pre-start that bad boy then. Let's take off it. All right. Man, that guy did not want to go through there. Woof. All right. Pre-drill anyone? Oof. My goodness, that was annoying. Let's not do that. Yeah, let's go with this guy. Oh, cool. Pre-drill on these. Quick adjustment here. So now it's just the mounting part of this, which, you know, isn't a concern because you can always look at that. Boom. All right. So you right there. And right there. Give or take. Cool. All right. And then my neutral, there it is. Come here, Joel. Ooh. That could have been something, but it wasn't, so we're all good. All right. Getting towards the back end of this here, which is nice. Last few connections, and then it's just time to clean up. This will be all right. Let's get these started ahead of time. Just because. Really? Come on. Okay. those. I just need 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Not the most level, but it'll work. Good enough for who it's for in this point, because I'm not sure 100% that's where this is going to live. But I do want something to get us rolling here. Okay. So this guy goes here. Start right there. This guy's got enough length over there. Okay. I don't know if these would be these monster ones either. Where's those little guys at? Let's pre-drill these so I don't split anything. Said, oh, what am I building? So I am building a. This is a 200 watt solar, basically solar power system that I have. So I've got, show you real quick. So I've got put 2 100 watt solar panels up there. They've been connected. Walk through the process of that, and then I've got my charge controller, lithium battery, and then I've got my current. What I'm putting up right now is just my inverter. And again, this is just part of the drill here, is just figuring out how I want to install this piece here. This is just my first installation. I'm sure it's going to change. But the idea behind this is that I wanted to have in real time, folks can see, sorry about the noise, how long it takes to actually install one of these things and do these type of stuff, because a lot of, sorry, let me make this quiet for a second. So I wanted people to be able to see, we see a lot of stuff on YouTube where the videos are like, oh, come do this installation, and you see after they've done all of the heavy lifting on it, and you don't see the mistakes or really just what it took to get done. So I wanted to do was have a video that was, hey, why don't we show in real time what this looks like? And so that's the idea here. Okay. So there's this one, which hopefully will be enough for me to get this one installed. So yeah, that's it. I mean, that's the idea. So right now I'm just getting my inverter here so I can have power in my shed. And ultimately what this is for, I want to be able to, of course I did that a little bit too much. Run my power out here for my tools when I need to charge them up, but mostly so I can have my heater going in my during the winter months. Have my heater going for my in my greenhouse. If I can get an extra 6 weeks of like heater time, that would be fantastic. So ultimately, that's one of the main reasons I'm doing this too. I got my concentration. There we go. Ugh, get off there. There we go. Nice and solid. That guy ain't going nowhere. But I'm going to put my other 2 bolts in there. So yeah, that's really what I'm doing here, is just getting this installed, getting it mounted. This is a 200 watt system that I got off of Amazon. And then I also but without the inverter and the like the battery. So I got this. They say because I wanted to. I didn't want to kind of get everything all at once. I wanted to be able to kind of select exactly what I was looking for. So, all right. So we're going to go back up top there, and we are going to follow the directions, which are install the battery and the inverter at the same time, and then you charge the solar power, and then you add the solar power to this charge controller. So first things first, come on up here with me, hang out. Welcome to the party. I'm going to get the inverter connected first. Well, no, we're going to do. No, you're what thinking to do. So let's get our positive and positives done here first. So this positive here, up right here, along with this positive here, which is the for the inverter. These guys here just kind of doing their thing. So everybody's all kind of connected. Good stuff. This guy's just being dumb. It's fine. Be dumb. Just need to get it started. Oh my goodness, Ryan. Why is this being so challenging today? I know why. Because you forgot to drink your water. Gotta hydrate, folks. Hydrate or die around here. Oh yeah. So so again, VJ, you can go back. This isn't gonna be private. When I do my live videos, I after they're done, I go back and I turn them into public videos so people can go back and watch them. So you're gonna be able to catch all the goodness here, man. All right, so there's that. This is the battery. So what we're gonna do here, I'm just gonna run this through twice like so. There we go. Well, so I'm not stripping this stuff because knowing me, I'm going to end up moving this, and I do not want to redo it. So we'll let her hang for today. I'll come and clean it up here in a little bit. My screwdriver here. So I'm now connecting down. You guys can see this here. Charge controller, probably not. Let's see. This thing, here we go. So I've got red to red to red to positive over here. And you know when you're doing your charge controller because it's got a picture of the battery on it. Isn't that great? It just makes it that simple for you. Okay. There we go. You want to make sure it's fully seated. Okay, that is they're nice and tight. Good. All right. There's one. Next is going to be similar thing, just on the back side here. Make sure this has been tightened up. Move you guys again. And beyond this part, just make sure this is nice and tight. Okay, nice and tight. Yeah, nice and tight. Okay. Gonna be black here. And I definitely want the battery as high up as I can for reasons, especially I got the little ones on top here. You want the black or the batteries up as high as you can just because of the temperature. Every time I knew the shock was coming. Every time. Good Lord. I'll have to make a blooper reel out of that one. That's too funny. Yeah, so you got it right because when you connect this, you're going to get a shock. It won't shock. It doesn't hurt. It's going to spark. So just know that is going to be a thing. When you get there, know what's going to happen. Let it discharge and do its thing. You can't, 12-volt batteries don't have enough to really cause an issue for you. Say, like that's the thing. You can't really get electrocuted by them. It's one of those cool things they do in movies, but they don't have enough to get you. There's things you can do to them to make that be a thing, but it's not like they can get you. But every time, good Lord, I don't know how many times I've connected batteries and that spark has happened. I've just laughed. I'm like, you know, we're human. You get surprised. You're going to get caught off guard a little bit. All right, next. So that's charged up. So next here, back over here is, again, going back to this when you're doing your solar charge controller, it is battery first, along with your inverter, then the solar panels. Okay, and I'm going to go back and talk you through exactly why I have those solar panels run the way I do, all that good stuff. Can you please, there you go, loosen up on me, there we go, come on. There we go. All right, so you want to make sure it's fully seated, and then once you get you want to make sure it is nice and tight. When it comes to your electrical connections, especially when it involves a battery, for sure, especially expensive batteries like these lithium ones. Well, it's not too expensive, but you want everything tight. Everything tight. Any bit of loose, anything is going to drain your battery quicker. Okay, so right now, so we've got battery, inverter, 25-watt inverter here, and we're kicking in at 13 volts. So things are looking good so far. So let's walk through and show you what, again, before I connect up the solar panels, give everybody a quick look here. So again, this is the 200-watt system that I got installed. It's the top solar system that I got from Amazon. It's 200 watts, comes with a charge controller. I picked up an extra charge controller to make sure that was going to be for lithium. The one that they come with it, they do it, but I was just, want to be more, I had a different battery I wanted, the one they were going to offer. So with this, you can see how I've got it split up there. So what I did was, the steps that you go through here are, you notice how I've got the metal roofing on here? So what I had to do is, in these areas, let me get my hand right here. See how it's got these ribs, these different ribs? Well, the mounting brackets and the holes that they put here are designed for a shingled roof, something with shingles, so you can just flat hit it wherever. In this case, you had to make adjustments to it and move my brackets a little bit further inward so they could fit between there. So anyways, I've got this centered. I've got them as far as the center on the actual, from the top to the bottom, as well as I've got them aligned so they're at the centerpiece there as well. So what you do here is, I don't know if you can see this, but the connectors are down here, and I ran them all the way around over here, come down here. Now I've got basically drilled into here. The one piece that I want to talk to you about, again, just as a reminder, anytime you have wire that's coming into your property like this, you always want to have a small little droop here. Don't make it tight. You want a low spot, so that way when the water comes down, it'll find that low area and drip down, because otherwise the surface tension, that stuff will train directly and just follow right into your actual property. So I'm still going to fill that. I've got some silicone once I get everything up and running here and set that we're going to do, but I just want to make sure everybody understands that piece. So all right, so next, actually that seemed to be pretty good for you guys. I'm just going to go back here with my connection. But you can't ask for a better day today, though. Better the day than today. Good Lord, is it ever nice out. Nice and warm. Perfect weather. I'm going to grab some zip ties real quick. 1 second, folks. Be right back. Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better day day than today for this stuff here, so be able to get this connection in. But when I started this, what I wanted for everybody to see, get back in frame here for a second while I'm doing this. What I wanted to have was an actual live video. Hey, here's what an install of one of these solar, basically solar power systems look like, so that folks can kind of understand what it takes. Because you watch the 30-minute video and they say, do this, do that, do this, and you're like, yeah, okay, but what if, right? All those questions come up. So I was like, yo, I'm going to be doing this. Why don't I just do that? Make a nice little video for some folks, for folks to have, so they can see in real time. They can watch it and see, is like I had to troubleshoot in real time a couple things to where I was at. So with this, the other thing I'm doing here is I'm not trimming my wire. I'm putting everything up. I installed my inverter. I've got the things set where I think I want them, but I may end up by the end of the summer realizing, man, that ain't where I want this stuff. So I'm keeping, basically I haven't trimmed any of my wire yet, and I'm not going to do it for a full season. So that way I've got it. Keep it, nice and loose, just so it doesn't go everywhere. So yeah, that's the main reason I'm doing it, just so I don't have to worry about the stuff. Have to buy any new wire in case I decide to rerun it, or I say, you know what, I'd rather have it on the back wall. That makes much more sense for whatever reason that would. But you know what I mean? Which we can get there. All right. So again, just little notes for everybody again where we're at. When you're doing your install on this, follow the directions. The panel is what the panel is. I mean, those aren't that difficult to put up. For your charge controller, follow the directions every time. I'm a business coach, and one of the things that I coach my teams on is we train to the checklist, right? The checklist, the manual. We don't train people how to do the process. We train them to read the manual and understand the manual. So every single time, this is the 5th time I've rehooked this up, I always grab my manual to make sure. So again, the directions are: connect the battery to the charge regular plus and minus. And it's really easy on here. When you look at these, they got a picture of a battery. It's got a plus or a minus, right? Easy peasy. On the cables, they have pluses and minuses, but red's positive. The next step is then connect the solar panels. Okay, and then if you want, after that, you can then connect. They've actually got a spot where I can connect extra wiring out if I want to run a light or something else off that will just run directly off of the solar panels as well. So that's that spot. So now I'm just going to come up here, and with this, and as a reminder, earlier I did do a test fitting on all of these things. I did it before this. I did it while I was on the stream here, just to make sure that everything that looked like it was supposed to look still looked like and connected like it was supposed to connect. So we're good. All right, fully seated. Give it a good turn. You want to make sure, again, this involves a battery. You want these things nice and tight. Don't give it a tug and a little shake, but nothing crazy. And then this last bit here, just get this last one in here. Well, if you guys can see what I'm seeing right now, and you will in a second, you're going to see for the 2nd time today, 3rd time for me, 4th time for me, where I have got solar panels are connected, and it shows that it's charging, right? So I can show you everything that's happening here. So I just connected the last bit here. Let's see if we can get here. So you can see I just connected. So right here, I've got this side is showing the solar panels are charging the battery, and it's also got power out to the light. This section here, if I wanted it, which I can turn off if I don't want that, which I don't have anything running with that. So right now, this is showing me on this system, solar panels are charging this battery. And if I turn this on, which we're going to test, you grab my fan. Where'd he go? Be the last test that we have for today before it's cleanup time. Which I got a lot of cleanup. I made a mess here. We're going to be testing, excuse me, our inverter. Now that that's installed. So beeps are a good thing. Green lights are a good thing. So now what we're doing is I've got solar panel going charging to the battery, and I've got this connected to the battery. So now we're just waiting to see. We got power, and this is a 1500 watt. So this is a 1500 watt heater that I use in my greenhouse. Just turned that on. Heat is happening. I don't want it on too much though because it is warm in here today. So as this looks for right now, we have installed a 200 watt solar panel system with charge controller, a 100 amp hour battery with a 2500 watt inverter that I use for my greenhouse. So with that, I've been talking about my greenhouse here. I'm gonna go check on it real quick. Why don't we go for a quick walk while I grab some water and then look at the greenhouse. So before we do that, I'm finished as far as I'm concerned. So with this install, when I started this, I gave myself 4 hours to get this install complete. So we're at 2 hours and 47 minutes. So that includes a couple, usual mistakes that you're going to make while you're doing a fresh install like this. All right, so let's see how we're doing in the old greenhouse today. Just want to see how everyone's doing in here. Get some water. You can hear I have a set of solar fans that are going, ooh, 104 degrees in here today. Ooh-wee, it's kicking. All right, so basil's doing good. Oregano's coming up. All the zinnias, most of them have come up and they're doing really well. So let's get rid of these guys. The mushrooms aren't helping. These are cleomes that my mom wanted. These are getting ready to be thinned. I'll be doing that later today. Got impatiens. Petunias are up. Hollyhocks are doing good. Oh man, zucchinis are already coming up. Squash are getting ready to do their thing. I've got my Johnny jump ups. I've got my Canterbury bells are up. Some flowers over here. We got my peas are popping. Wait, how did you end up get back down there? My peas decided to come up for some reason. Backwards. That was weird. They just kind of showed up. All right, anyways. Marigolds are doing well. All my lettuce, that's going to be ready to go in this week. That'll be nice. And then I've got my Mexican sunflowers are doing their thing, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so, and then down here I've got some, got a couple tomato plants, some lavender, and a rosemary that I picked up. So that'll be good. All right. Those guys stay nice and warm in there, nice and cozy. Yep. Definitely hear that. But I've got solar power for days going on now, which is nice. That looks good. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so the system is up and in place here for those that are just joining us. The reason that I did this live and I did it on basically for shorts is that so that way I can turn it into a long form video where you guys can see in real time that it takes about 2.5 hours to make that install of this solar panel system. So all things considered, this went pretty good. Again, this is the top solar 200 watt solar panel power system that I got from Amazon, in addition to a 100 amp hour battery and a 2500 watt inverter that I can use for power. So been good stuff here. I appreciate y'all. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do, and I will see you next time.